When have we ever gone for accuracy?
Never. Welcome to the stream.
And I guess it's just the three of us for now.
Just the
That's
three of
okay.
us.
Just the three of us.
Unless Kira wants to join in on the call and doodle something stupid.
Anyone can join. Anyone in the Discord, anyway.
Anyone.
Not literally anyone. That'd be weird. Oh, Kiro. You don't have to, obviously. So you can have a nice, relaxing Sunday. Just chilling. But not us. We've got work to do. Very important work.
I mean, I do have very important work to do. I'm doing this instead.
We've got very important work to do, and instead, yeah. So also, before I switch away from this screen, I'll just tell you that when I was testing this out, one of the first examples that I saw, because we have a random generator which gives you a character from a thing and the class from an RPG, and we're gonna try and do that. And one of the first ones I generated was Rouge the Bat from the Sonic and the Hedgehogs, as a rogue. And seeing Rouge the Rogue just melted my brain, because I always read Rouge as Rogue. Rogue
the Rogue.
Rogue the Rouge. Roogie the Raugo.
Rogue.
Row.
Row.
Row. Hi, Liz. I forgot time existed. I know, it's a bugger, isn't it?
That's fair.
Hop on over to the doodle scene. Here we are. This is my World of Warcraft cat. Well, I don't really know anything about World of Warcraft apart from pauldrons.
That's all I know.
Presumably over in... Oh, look at them.
Design is concerned. That's... No one will look at that and not know what that's supposed to be.
It's pauldrons, it's got spikes, it's World of Warcraft.
There's also a cute little dungaree cat.
With a sword.
With a sword.
Very
More
important.
importantly, dungarees.
He's the swords boy class.
Now we have this funky looking friend up here.
So that's my attempt at drawing a class in Etrian Odyssey called a Hexer. Hexers are basically, well, they curse things. They make your enemies have a bad time.
Nice.
And they go, ooh.
Including potentially making them hurt themselves in their confusion and fear.
Yeah, funnily enough, one of the ones I have on my little on this, I just opened up the website again. One of them was Superman as a hexer, so which we won't do. But yeah, so we just have random characters as random RPG classes because random. Yeah, I'll go first.
You go first.
Because I keep saying who's going to go first and then never volunteering myself. So today I will go first.
You will go first. Okay.
All right. Who do you want to prompt from then?
Do I have a coin? I have my souls jar. I'll get a coin. Opening the souls jar.
Oh no.
Who wants to be heads?
Yeah.
Cool. Ragdoll.
All right. Let's see.
I will not put that on the fact book because that's just.
And see, part of this is also going to be figuring out which one of these characters might Chris have any idea who it is.
Yes. What do I know?
Also that.
The answer is no.
Because they do list Game of Thrones characters in here, and I have a feeling that's not a media you've really consumed.
Nope.
At least not willingly.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I am aware that there is somebody called Hodor, and that's about it.
I mean, you're aware of more than me. I didn't know that.
I had a coworker who was really into Game of Thrones, with the original Game of Thrones series, and so got to listen to the latest with that, and it's like, okay, that's nice. I recognize maybe half of these names. Well, here's a character you will at least know by osmosis, if nothing else. Wednesday Addams as a
Oh.
ranger. Specifically, it says Dragon Quest, but most of the Dragon Quest classes are based very heavily on D&D, so...
Okay, so I immediately have a reference in my mind. Oh, the Dragon Quest Rangers have got a sort of North Asian sort of vibe with the big fluffy hats, and
Good for them.
that's kind of interesting. But I was thinking in the second film, Addams Family Values. I should specify now because there have been lots of films.
The second film in existence.
The second ever film that they made, which happens to be an Addams Family film. The Wednesday and Pugsley go to summer camp, and they're forced to put on a Thanksgiving based show, play, and Wednesday's dressed up as a sort of stereotypical Native American, and she ends up taking all the other kids hostage. It's a fun time. Wednesday's good. Do I draw Wednesday? I'll go with Charles Addams one, I guess.
Look at you googling reference.
Yeah, I could get the
on
book.
A Sunday
actually,
stream.
I have a book
Sunday
on
stream. How dare you? Honestly,
I know.
Just draw Wednesday Addams from your mind.
From memory, it's like
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what more do you need?
there you go.
That's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Somber and serious girl. Wednesday's child is full of woe.
I mean, the fun thing is, in the original TV show, she wasn't really somber. She was just sort of strange.
Oh yeah, she was just a
much
weird
like
kid who had a
everyone
pet
else
spider.
in that family.
She had a pet tarantula called Aristotle? Question mark?
Mm.
Been a while since I watched that show.
Question mark.
I have also remembered another thing that is often seen. They hold a crossbow. Not like that. We might get a bonus Pugsley here, actually.
I'm assuming he's going to be getting shot at, because that's just what happens.
Classic. I can't draw today, apparently.
Good.
But no, I'm going to go with the Dragon Quest. I was thinking of doing the costume from the film. Because I believe there are bows and arrows involved in that uprising. But I'm going to give Wednesday a floofy hat.
She deserves a floofy hat.
Sorry, I'm doing the pose. Trying to work out where arms go.
Arms go wherever you want them to go, honestly.
And it's Addams Family. I'm sure they'll just sort of stick arms wherever they need.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Arms go wherever,
Or wherever they
they're
want.
gonna go, and also probably in places they're not gonna go, because
That
it's
is-
the Addams Family.
That is fair. Was there... What's going on with the hair in these?
Pigtails.
Unspecified. So we'll stick with the classics. Anyway, how's everybody's day been?
My day's been fine. I got to hold my niece for the first time.
Ooh, exciting.
She's a tiny little worm.
Yeah, they usually start out that pretty small,
Yeah. Um.
which is good because if they were any better, there would be problems.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was nice and kind of weird, and you know.
Oh, I have a good phrase you can use next time.
Don't say that sentence you were taught today.
What?
She is plenty of cute, I'll have you know.
Oh.
I think if I say that sentence, I won't be allowed around my niece anymore.
Duolingo is giving me very useful things, I'll have you know.
Very
All the
useful, like how to formally announce that someone's baby isn't cute enough.
Yep. It's the There's a few things about that sentence that confuse me. The first
Yeah,
being that it's not your baby isn't cute. They're not cute enough
yeah.
for some peculiar purpose.
Mhm.
But also it's formal. So you're
Yep.
talking to somebody of higher status than you and insulting their baby.
Yeah, it feels weird because the formal language is, meant to like indicate respect, and then you're just saying the most disrespectful thing by insulting someone's child.
Respectfully, your baby looks like a potato sack.
Yeah, pretty much.
With all due respect, which in this case is none.
Yes, exactly.
I love the phrase "with all due respect" because it doesn't actually specify.
Oh,
Just with, because there's with respect and then there's with all due respect, which, as Ragdoll points out, could very well be none. I believe this is a reference to the first film. I've got to work out how to draw Pugsley.
I mean, you literally don't have to, but okay.
He has made this decision. We all know how this goes.
Hmm.
Like at this point, no one should be surprised when Chris decides to do something entirely unnecessary
Oh
while
no,
doing a
he does
drawing.
it constantly. That's
at,
that just
at
makes
least
sense.
at least I'm doing this in the style of Charles Addams, so it's simpler than it otherwise would be.
At least you're doing an entire style change.
Into a cut, like if this was in the style of like Alphonse Mucha or whatever it is, you know, bloody Art Nouveau sort of thing.
Also, hi, Lewis.
What? Ah!
There's a shark.
Surprise shark! Shark prize.
Hmm.
Silent shark? Ah! Quiet shark. Shark louder, there we go.
Hello, Kiro. I was once in text form, now I am free.
You're free to scream.
Oh, well, if there's drawing involved, don't worry.
Don't worry, you came in on a nice simple one where you're going to have to draw a character from a thing in the style of a class from an RPG. So
Yeah, very simple.
you got a lot of wiggle room, a lot of creative freedom there.
Right.
Or you can just do a little scribble and just say, this is the thing.
Listen,
And then
whatever happens, it's gonna be a scribble.
let us figure it out what it is. Because unlike Chris, I am not planning on Googling anything.
That's fair.
If I don't know a thing, I'm just gonna continue not knowing the thing.
That's fair.
This is, yeah, for you, this is basically going to be a wiki randomizer. Like, I don't know what
Yeah.
this thing is. We'll make it up.
Gonna make it happen. It's fine.
I want to do another wiki one, but I keep forgetting to tell people. Because
Mm.
it kind of requires people getting a wiki ready. Anyway, how's
I
the
mean,
mood?
this sort of splits the difference, because we're randomizing a thing, and you can look it up on the wiki if you want. And Cheap does not want.
But the thing about the wiki is you're not allowed to look it up on the wiki. For random wiki things. The other person can. The person drawing can't. Know what I mean? Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do. This is an idea I had absolutely ages ago. That I've never done because it's quite difficult to explain. I was thinking of it as, what was it? I gave it knockoff by proxy. And the idea is that somebody would choose a character from a thing. But they wouldn't be the one who drew. They would have to describe the character to somebody else to draw. And the objective is to try and describe it in such a way that your description is accurate, but the person never actually guesses who it is you're describing. So you're getting someone else to knock it off, but they don't know what it is they're knocking off.
Okay. Interesting.
I think that might be fun. So sort of an early example I sort of thought would work would be something like, there's a sort of huge animalistic creature, sort of ferocious face, sort of bound in sort of clad in metal and sort of bound in chains and things like that, sort of constantly snarling and all that sort of thing. You get someone to draw something like that, and then you reveal, chain chomp. Accurate description. Accurate description, but you wouldn't guess it. You'd end up with gritty.
Yeah, that would require at
chain
least a little
chomp
bit more prep.
reboot. Exactly, yeah. So that's one of the things that I'd have to tell people in advance we're doing this. So you can try and come up with a character and a decent, correct, but not particularly well communicated description. Sorry, I have to realize I probably should actually hurry up with this. There's more stream to do.
I was gonna say, no, I think that's too mean.
What?
Nothing.
What? Tell me. Be mean.
I was
If it's to
gonna
me,
say,
if
when
not-
have you ever hurried up on the stream?
That's fair. That's not me.
It felt really mean in my head.
The thing to understand is that it doesn't matter how mean it sounds in your head. I say meaner things to myself in my head, so you're fine. You're allowed to say mean things to me.
Yay.
Unlike my brain, which does it without asking.
How dare your brain? Brain is stupid.
Always.
My brain is stupid.
Your brain is smart.
No,
We got engineer brain.
Engineer Shark.
And now for the other unnecessary character. Yes, I'm giving these thickness.
It's important for the character.
It's important for the stakes.
Mm-hmm.
And in true Addams Family fashion, the apple is not on the head,
Nope.
but in the mouth.
Of course, it just makes sense.
I just thought of a joke, but I have no idea like if anyone even remembers the reference to it.
When has that ever stopped you?
There used to be adverts on, I think it was around the Live... It wasn't Live Aid, it was Live 8, I think. And it was, I think people like Bono, and they were advertising about, famine in various countries, and they had the classic thing of every time I click my fingers, a child dies, or something like that. Very sad
Stop clicking
statistic.
your fingers.
Exactly, that was the joke that came out of it, was just stop clicking your fingers then. But what I wanted to do was every time I click my fingers, an Addams Family child dies. That was the joke.
Oh, that's terrible.
I mean,
well,
it's
there
the
you go.
Addams Family. I'm sure they'll get better.
Yeah. No one in the Addams Family actually dies. They should, the things they do to themselves, but they don't actually die.
Mamushka.
Mamushka. I have that on my computer, actually. There's a full version of it that's not in the film. It's good. Yeah, there we go. This is Wednesday Addams as Ranger from what game?
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest, that's the one.
Dragons.
Oh yeah, I should have guessed by the art style.
There be dragons.
There them be dragons. Them there. All I know about Dragon Quest is
dragons.
randomizers of the first game, but, which is probably not that useful. So that's that. So I got a prompt from Ragdoll. So I guess I give a prompt now to Chib.
Sure.
Right. I'm tempted to carry on the theme, it must be said.
Okay.
Do we want to carry on the theme? Or do you want to do something
I
different?
don't know what the theme is based on this.
That's all I'm going to give. The only information I'm going to give you. Theme or not?
Sure.
Sure. Fantastic. I want you to draw Morticia Addams.
Mm-hmm.
In the style of a druid. Specifically from World of Warcraft.
I don't know what World of Warcraft looks like.
Yeah, I personally ignore that because I just quite like the idea. Because the one thing I think of Morticia Addams is the scene where she's like cutting off the heads of the roses. So I feel like there's a druidy thing you could do there. Druid of Thorns or something.
Sure.
But it's up to you. You can do what you want. I'm pretty sure Morticia also had a pet plant. Oh, I'm going to try and remember the name of that one as well.
I mean, she had a whole garden in the TV show.
I'm gonna have to
Cleopatra?
remember what Morticia Addams looks like.
Jeff.
Thin, tall, and goth.
Yeah, I got that much.
Yeah, but what about Morticia Addams?
Very, like, extremely narrow legs.
But what about Morticia Addams?
Morticia Addams plant. It was Cleopatra. All right. Now, what was Wednesday's spider called? What did I say?
Aristotle?
Someone said Cleopatra.
Aristotle. I was called Homer. Yeah. Was Aristotle the octopus? Might have been Pugsley's octopus. Not sure. It's been a long time since I watched the original TV show. Yes, octopus called Aristotle. There we go. Apparently, in the new animated films, Aristotle has a half sibling squid called Socrates.
And no one's going to question how octopus has a half sibling that's a squid.
No.
It's the Addams Family. You don't question these things. Sorry, I'm just looking up the history of Addams Family now. This is not useful. The only thing I did find is that the original name that Pugsley was gonna have in the TV show was Pubert,
No, that was the kid, the baby.
which is
after
yeah.
that,
They
was
eventually used it as the name for the baby in Addams Family
Hubert
Valued.
Addams, which is it's a hell of a thing.
I mean, it's not that odd for a family to go, oh, we'll use this name for a baby. Oh, never mind, we'll use that for the next one.
True, yeah.
Like, when my mother was pregnant with me, they basically had, like, right, we're not, there's not really checking for sex of the child, so we've got a couple names ready to go. And then the name at the top of the list for boys' names got given to my brother 2 years later.
Honestly, hand-me-downs. Terrible. Oh, I forgot Snoop Dogg was in the new Addams Family film.
What?
Yeah, he is. He gets.
His cousin it, right?
He get. Snoop Dogg gets all over the place.
Okay. Good
He's
for him, I guess.
completed. What is it? He's completed the main storyline and is just doing side quests now.
That's accurate. Also, this is a good Morticia.
Thanks. I don't know.
This feels like the Morticia from the TV, the second attempt at a TV show.
Sure. I don't know what that means.
But it made me think of somebody who played Morticia, so yay!
Yeah, I've done it. Good for me.
Your brother had been born a girl, he would have gotten your name. Nice. Then who would be Kiro? Your brother, I guess. What am I looking for? Morticia. Here we are. Oh, there is an Addams Family tree. And this was the thing.
I mean, I imagine it's a very gnarly looking tree on account of the fact that it's Adams.
How? It also doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
Rude.
see previous statement.
Rude.
Because it's implying that grandmama is either parent or grandparent to both Gomez and Morticia, even though Morticia has like a different maiden name. This is just a bad family tree. It doesn't make any sense.
Again,
I mean, the joke
see
with
previous
grandmama
statement.
is like that nobody knows whose side she is from, right?
Right, okay.
So I guess that's what it's referencing.
That's fair.
I
Is it
assume
your
that's
mother?
the
Is it
joke
my
at
mother?
least.
We don't know. It's just grandmama.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think in the original TV show, Uncle Fester was Morticia's brother, but in the film, it was Gomez's brother. So that also gets a bit confusing.
But then you added
Inconsistent.
Christopher Lloyd to the mix, so no one minded.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd is high value. Can detract from a lot of confusion.
I don't know how to like druid her up.
Thorns.
Thorns. Thorns. Okay.
Thorns and roots.
Oh, elegant lady who will now also just shoot you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just sort of a normal Adams thing. Don't worry about it.
Hmm.
Drawing.
I need to stop reading Addams Family lore. Not interesting for stream.
I mean, it could be.
Could be, maybe. I got distracted by Wednesday Addams Jr. I'm like, what?
What?
Sure. Okay.
Explain yourself, sir.
This is what I'm looking up.
Look, the Addams Family have been around for a very long time, and many creative minds have added or subtracted from it. And also, it's the Addams. Things are likely to get a little weird.
Unfortunately, the link to where Wednesday Addams Jr. comes from doesn't mention Wednesday Addams Jr. So very handy, really. Oh, hi, Christy. I've missed you. You have the same color name as Kira. Hi.
How dare you? That's so mean.
It's Morticia Adam.
I'm still struggling. Listen, we're on the journey. We're on a journey, and I'm gonna figure it out. It's just gonna take a little while.
We're on a druidy journey. Yeah, good lips.
Right. Anyway. How Christian themed can I make this before it gets weird?
I mean,
Christian themed?
it's the Addams Family.
Yeah.
Chris, you said thorns, okay?
Oh, I see. All right.
What is dark imagery with thorns?
I didn't go there at all in my brain. So.
You've seen the state of some back gardens. You do not need religion to be concerned about thorns.
I mean, you try and look at me and tell me that Morticia Addams wouldn't walk up to an Easter ceremony dressed up with a thorn crown.
I mean, that is also
covered in
You
someone's
would.
blood.
Walk up to a crucifix and go, somebody using this? It's now a good time to mention that the Addams Family, the 1991 Addams Family film, is like one of my favorite films. It's just really good.
We gathered something along those lines, at least.
I watched it not too long ago after just a long period, and I was just surprised at just how well written it is and how many jokes there are in quick succession, and it doesn't feel sort of knackering. I mean, maybe by modern standards, people might think it's a bit much, but tough. It was the 90s. They knew how to write comedy, I guess, sometimes.
I mean, mostly it's surprising that you've watched something from the 90s, but...
Only because I was born roughly then.
What? I thought you were born in the 60s. Have you been lying to me?
No, both of those things. I was born in the 90s in the real world and the 60s in the upside down.
Oh, right. That makes
because
sense.
9 and 6 flip it upside down.
Weren't you born in 06 in the upside down?
I was born in SO6, I guess. Yes, Raul Julia didn't. Is it Julia or Julia? I don't. Never actually heard it said out loud. Yes, that was one of the last couple of movies he did. Was actually
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, yeah. Yeah, he did Street Fighter because his kids really liked it. But yeah, that was. Well, let's have a look. Let's research. I'm on the website pages, things. What are they called? Give me Raul Julia. I'm gonna go with Julia. Yes, Addams Family Values was the penultimate one, and Street Fighter was the last one he was in. Oh, Street Fighter was actually released posthumously.
Yeah.
So that was very neat. His first television appearance was on Sesame Street.
Good for him.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
The guy who played Gomez in the films, the 90s films.
Oh. Okay.
Raul Julia. Oh, we did a lot of theatre. Macbeth, Tempest, Titus Andronicus, etc. A lot of Shakespeare. Dracula,
I
classic
mean,
Shakespeare.
now I'm just imagining Gomez Addams starring in Titus Andronicus.
Yeah, that's the thing. Had stomach cancer,
Like,
got
I
food
know that's
poisoning,
not the
still kept
implication
filming.
here,
Oh.
but also, that's a funny mental image.
Well, he also played Dracula on Broadway for 3 years, so Gomez Dracula sounds fun. I was a trooper, yes. Lost so much weight, yeah. He got food poisoning while traveling and filming. It wasn't a great time for him, but he definitely didn't let that stop him eating as much scenery as possible while filming in his last few films. That man had energy in acting.
He was very good about hamming it up, which is definitely something that you need when doing Addams Family and also anything related to a video game franchise, because most of those are just inherently silly.
Yes. Like, I know nothing about the Street Fighter film except him. So
And Jean-Claude
I think that says something. Hmm?
And Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh. I know that.
Yeah, so Street Fighter is one of those arcade style fighting games, and basically, technically, everyone has like a backstory. And in some of the games, you can play through like a storyline, but the thing is, you can usually play through a storyline with every single character, and they all contradict each other. So it's like,
Perfect.
cool. Whatever you think is canon is and isn't at the same time.
Marvelous.
And also, we're just sort of, the whole premise is just us making excuses for why these people are in the same area beating each other up.
Kylie Minogue? What? Oh, yeah, Kylie Minogue's apparently in this film.
Huh.
As one does.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
On Twitch, I see the most recent videos thing, so
Kylie
I think
Minogue?
stream died.
Apparently not. The OBS is still streaming. I don't know what Twitch is doing.
I thought we were saying, oh no, because Kylie Minogue is there.
Kylie Minogue.
I don't know what to do with this.
I mean, that work. I've already made you draw thorns and flowers. Like,
Yeah.
no, what? Twitch, what are you doing? What? Think so? Hello, hello, chat. Are you well?
Never.
How are you?
That's a
Okay,
different
so maybe it's
question,
just
Chris.
mine. Maybe just my internet decided to do something weird. Hold on.
Kiro can hear. But I'm more than happy to believe it's Twitch. Don't worry about that. You're never well. Oh.
It's just that I was looking over at the chat, and then it's like suddenly it's like, oh, I do not see the preview drawing. It's just gone. Okay, now it's back, but I had to refresh. Okay, I have no idea what happened there.
CGB coloring and yeah. Now it's Morticia.
I mean,
There we go.
only because it wouldn't be Morticia if it wasn't black, you know?
Yeah, gotta be. Oh yeah, we can see messages, Christy. Hello. Oh, I forgot Kylie Minogue was in Doctor Who as well. I'm just going down Wikipedia rabbit holes here, which feels bad when Chib's drawing a good picture.
I mean, I'm not doing anything cool or new with this. It's
You drew
just...
flowers!
Yeah, and I don't feel like that's enough.
You drew like 30 flowers.
But it's fine. And I'm gonna leave it
Closer to
here
20.
because I don't feel like drawing anything else.
It's
So
cool.
you're just gonna have to deal with it.
I'm dealing with it happily.
It's Morticia and she's a druid. You could always add a feed me Seymour type thing in here.
Yeah, so stick Cleopatra
What?
in.
What? You say word. You're saying words at me.
Yeah, if you don't know Little Shop of Horrors, that sentence probably didn't make a lot of sense. Like a giant Venus flytrap sort of thing.
More into it. What?
Yeah, so
Man-eating
Little Shop
plant.
of Horrors, it's a stage musical, and also they made it into a movie where they changed the ending because the original ending just didn't sit well with movie audiences. Go figure. And there is a character in that who's basically a giant Venus flytrap that eats humans.
Feed me.
Audrey 2, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Kira's got it. Druid Morticia is wholesome plant mom. It's basically Morticia. Morticia's already a druid now that I think about it.
Morticia is already like a character. You know?
Yeah. Got a whiz with plants as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking of cutting the roses with the thorns and all that. Cutting roses and thorns and stuff like that. I completely forgot that she actually, was a gardener of strange plants.
Yeah, I think the first episode of the TV series, you've got her in her garden doing stuff and freaking out one of the administrators from the school who's there to try and be like, and it's like, okay, maybe I don't want to do anything with these people. I'm just gonna leave. We're just gonna leave now.
Classic. It's basically every episode of that show, isn't it? Someone comes along and goes, right, we're gonna do this. Oh no, scary things. And the Addamses are like, they were nice. We should have them around again. I think that's what I like about the Addamses.
That sometimes a pile of hair steals your wife.
That it's occasional, yes. I mean, in the film, there's a good reason. Is that the husband got buried alive.
There.
No, look at him. No, they hungry. He's cute.
He's gonna nom on your shoelaces. And then your toes.
Yeah, he's cute, baby. Yeah, it's cool. So, Chib, do you want to give a prompt to Lewis? Oh yes.
Sure. I guess I'm gonna have to ask, do you want to continue the theme?
Rolling it. Wait, is it Cousin It?
No.
Oh, that was my one chance.
But yeah, if you do, Pugsley Addams as an engineer from Team Fortress 2.
Ooh.
I'm an engineer.
You're an engineer.
Well, yeah.
You're an engineer, Pugsley.
Oh, this is distinctly not a practical problem. God. What is the engineer? I'm trying to remember what the engineer tier. He's got the goggles, the hard hat.
The hard
He's
hat
got
and
dungarees on. I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
So they'd have to be stripy dungarees because Pugsley always has the fucking.
Oh, I didn't.
stripe.
I forgot to add stripes.
Isn't
on
that
mine.
one also the one that's got like the turret?
Yes, but I can only draw so much before I break down
Yeah,
crying.
that's fair. The turret isn't part of the prompt.
And he solves practical problems. Okay.
You can do it.
Oh, I
Just-
can't. But you know what? We'll give it a go.
Start by
You can't-
drawing a circle and go from there.
You can use reference for these ones. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm allowed to look things up. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause the challenge here is the combination, not doing things from memory.
Okay.
I decided to like make it difficult for myself. That was on me.
And
Oh, did you not use a reference?
No,
Oh, that was really good.
I didn't really use a reference for anything. I was just
Oh.
going on every like Morticia Addams vibe I've ever seen.
That was really good.
just don't tell me an art style, because no matter what you say, it's gonna look the same. I'm due to artistic capabilities.
Cubist.
Christ. So, what is? Okay, we'll start off with, I guess, the rough shirt section. You're trying to draw on hidden layer. Oh, okay, whoops.
We're hopping in shirt
Don't.
first.
Don't hide. You must draw. Jeeb is powerful. Yeah. Never played Team Fortress 2 yourself, but you love the characters. I'm familiar with the characters. I've not entirely certain what the game is. I know it's a team game. But
I feel like
Usually
the
it's-
game is for like um first person shooter kind of thing.
Yeah, usually it's an objective which is either a payload typically, or pushing a payload, or stealing someone's briefcase.
I love
Right?
that it just makes it sound like, just anyone's briefcase.
Oh, it's alright. Yeah, there are two
Classic.
briefcases full of like intel.
They see a
Was it a spy
briefcase
party?
and they cannot help themselves.
I know the feeling. Did you watch the last
Yeah,
Hitman?
basically it was sort of the Overwatch game before Overwatch.
Yeah, and there's
Mhm.
the class
Right.
system with it was
Kira just
attack-
wrote exactly that.
Oh,
Sorry.
God, I hate what every time. I'm just like, why do I do this?
You're drawn.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah,
And
Spy
then
Party's fun.
It's got to be stripy because Pugsley.
Because Pugsley. Is Spy Party still really expensive?
Is what still expensive? What?
A Spy Party.
Oh,
It's a two-player game. One person's a spy, one person's a sniper.
Oh, I don't know. Is it? I didn't.
I remember it being really expensive for a multiplayer game. Still early access. 20 quid.
No thanks. Though I think I will add that to my wish list.
Banana bread.
Banana.
Banana bread. Still early access. This game has been in development for about 15 years.
Oh, the shooter Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Oh, for God's sake! The competitive mode has been in beta or beta, however you say it. It's been in it there for 7 years now.
Nice.
So every time you boot it up, it says ranked beta. Everyone just goes, "Is it?"
I mean, in software development, beta mostly just means that we haven't implemented all of the features that we really want to have in this thing to consider it the full software package, and there's plenty of things out there where it's like, well, this works as something. So like there was God, what was it? One of the many things that Google eventually just killed, because that's what Google does, is they start projects and then they kill them later on. Was in beta for years. And it's like, well, this is a functional product. I guess they're just not quite done with it. And then you've got like you fan small teams where it's like, well, this is still in beta because there's like 2 people and a cat working on this, and the cat is mostly distracting us from working on this.
That's like the academic paper where the guy co-wrote it with his cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out the other day that there's like
Who was
apparently
it?
multiple scholars who've cited cats as co-authors. There was apparently a gentleman who did a lot of work translating old Maya tablets, I think, in Mexico. And I don't remember his name, but it's like on all of his pictures, it was like, I'm gonna have my cat be my co-author, and everyone's like, yeah, that's dumb. And it's like, okay, I'm going to have the picture of me include my cat in it. And it's like, okay, well, we're just gonna crop it. It's like, okay, cool. Now the dog's here too.
Classic. Christy wants to know whether or not you got a tablet, Lewis, because you're doing very well.
No, I'm on my laptop at the moment. I don't own a tablet.
Oh, so you're not even using a mouse, you're using a trackpad.
No, I am using a mouse.
Oh, you do
I
have a
wish
mouse,
I
okay.
could use the.
I was
give
gonna
the
say.
excuses.
It's bloody good for a trackpad, but it's just very good for a mouse.
Mhm.
God, what does the rest of engineers build? Pugsley doesn't have like that many defining features. He's just kind of rotund and has a stripy.
Basically.
Yeah, just round and striped. Although he is blonde, which does sort of make him the odd one out for the Addams, because most of them are dark hair.
Yeah. Apparently Spy Party began development in 2009. And it's been on Steam since 2018. So there you go.
Jesus, Bagara.
You're doing it.
Oh, he always wears shorts though, doesn't he?
The engineer or
Pugsley, engineer. I'm pretty sure just wears trousers.
Trazes.
Hell's
Yeah, I think
bells.
Pugsley's usually in
Brooke.
shorts. He's
Mhm.
sort of dressed like typical child clothes, and that's usually shorts.
Question.
Hey,
What?
listen, shorts are comfy.
And
And easy to wear. Hey!
And if I'm in these sort of
I mean, in the case of children, it mostly means we don't have to worry about hemmings when they have a growth spurt in 2 months.
I love that we both immediately went.
Yep. You got it.
You got it, yeah.
Oh no! Erased parts. I need to do this step by step. I'm not very good.
It's okay. Take as much
You-
time as you want.
Ugh.
You're doing it.
You're doing it.
Fuck it, he's got stumpy legs. I can't.
Just put a box in front of him and say that, right, this is just his toolkit.
No, if I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail spectacularly.
It's good to have
I mean, I
aspirations.
do love his stumpy little legs. It's kind of cute.
He's a small boy. Makes sense.
He's a small boy.
He's just a small boy from a small family.
The Addams Family are not a small family.
No.
They are a wide.
Don't wait. Let's draw a line.
They're also not a poor family either.
Don't
No.
fuck me. You did it. I said not to.
What are you trying to colour in? Ah,
Not that.
no. Oh.
I just want to get his sleeve.
Hey.
There we go.
Ugh.
Here we are.
The good old problem of where is that one pixel that is leaving this open?
Yeah.
Yep. If I'm gonna buy a tablet, it's solely gonna be to just attend Sunday streams.
Yeah. You can get little drawing tablets quite cheap nowadays, can't you?
And then, what is the engineer? Oh, the engineer only has one big glove. I thought he had two.
Oh yeah. That. Also, the comparison of size of hand to size of foot is interesting for this character.
What?
Not normal to be able to contain your entire foot in a hand.
Jesus Christ.
Hands be
Yeah, the
handing.
proportions in Team Fortress are a little odd, but very distinctive.
Yeah, it's very charming in a way.
What color? Does Pugsley have a short color? Not really. It's black.
They're all fair. You said black.
Ah!
And there is another.
Middle right.
Ah.
Need the pen. And now,
Yeah.
hey, there we go, teamwork.
Da, 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 da.
No.
Oh no, the Wacom tablet is more expensive than I thought. Huh. £30.
30? What's 30 pounds?
For a cheap graphics tablet.
What's the...
Oh. Yeah.
I thought it'd be like
Beep.
15, 20.
Beep. All
Guess I was
belt
wrong.
pouches have to have 2 dots to show that they are fastened.
Yes.
Um,
Oh my god, it's Shrek under there. This is Christine.
oh, but then the pouch is the same curler. Grr. There you go. It's darker. Then he just has a regular hand, which is really disconcerting to me because I always thought the engineer had 2 gloves on.
Just one glove for safety.
It's not safe.
I mean, it's also because in the pictures I'm looking at, he's holding like his weapon, presumably, in his gloved hand.
What, the gun or the
Which,
wrench?
if you're gonna wear one glove, that's the opposite of what you should do. You should be
Well,
protecting the hand that's not holding the weapon.
it's more grip for swinging. Make sure the weapon doesn't fling out of your hands.
Yeah, and then as you make your little turret or whatever, you can, like, slam your unprotected hand.
Yeah, you just slap it with a wrench, hell yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
I mean, how else are you supposed to engineer?
This baby can fit so many OSHA violations. Smacks a punch.
I mean, yeah.
Not incorrect.
Based on what I know of the engineer, which is not a lot, granted, it's been a while since I watched the introduction videos, but OSHA should not get involved.
He's
Yeah. Got more
solves practical
problems.
problems.
Yeah, Chrissy's got a point. No fingerprints on the murder weapon. See? Planning ahead. If OSHA do get involved in this, you can't trace it back.
OSHA's not gonna be involved with fingerprints on a murder weapon. That's the police.
Are you saying that killing somebody is not against OSHA regulations?
I don't know, honestly.
How do I move the screen?
All I know from OSHA regulations is from the BDG video, and he has
Yeah.
not mentioned anything about murdering people.
If you hold space and drag,
Oh,
that can
space.
move things around. There's probably
I
also a tool
mean-
at the side. Little hand tool.
OSHA's mostly workplace safety stuff, so I think they'd really only get involved if the person died because you did something where it's like, this isn't. They died because of your fuck up, not their fuck up.
Right, so deliberate killing isn't their remit. Only accidental.
Yeah. I mean... I don't know where, like, the line would be. Honestly. Because I think it can still be, like, deliberate murder and a workplace violation.
Oh, it could be both now.
Like, if you made it look like an accident, I think OSHA would.
That's a new murder mystery for you. People who do murders but cover them up to look like accidents, and it's a murder mystery solving OSHA inspector.
Oh, Jesus.
Instead of, like, the trailer for it being like, you are the detective, it's you are the OSHA inspector. Welcome to the workplace.
Take me back to childhood mornings.
Horrific accidents occur here every single day.
That's
Only
Hot
some.
Fuzz, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit.
It's just like, oh yeah, we have the largest accident rate in the UK, but we're really lovely.
All I think about with accidents and Hot Fuzz is the ending.
Going to need some ice cream. Do either of them have really iconic shoes? Does Pugsley have shoes?
Not really.
I think
no.
it's just shoes.
Shoes, just shoes. I mean, do you want us to give you some ostentatious shoes to draw?
No.
There we go.
Yeah, like I said, the main two features with Pugsley where it's like you look at it and go, yeah, that's Pugsley, are mostly just the round, like sort of everything about him is sort of round body, round hairstyle, and then stripes for some reason.
Make him look like a criminal.
Okay, now the terrifying part ahead. Wait, no, I can buy more time if I draw the hard hat first.
Just draw the hard hat first and then fit the face in between.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Engineer's hard hat and goggle situation covering most of the head?
I mean, he has a very strong jaw. He has a very big, strong jaw and chin.
Whereas Pugsley doesn't.
Yeah, so if you just take Pugsley's face and put the hard hat and the goggles on it, then it would be most of the face.
And if I do it, I'm trying to
Yeah,
apply any painting knowledge I've acquired. I'm like, and then if I take I want to You want a different color for the edges to help highlight, and then we go paler for the thing itself. Excuse me.
Ooh. Look at you
Listen,
getting fancy.
I'm trying.
You're doing great.
Oh, Jesus.
Compliments can be compliments, Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's enough. Don't you dare tell me there's not an ulterior motive.
We can just be nice. Also, I can give you a description of Pugsley straight from Charles Addams.
No, because I don't want to upset him.
He's dead.
I don't want to upset him.
Upset his ghost.
I mean, yeah, it's Charles Addams. He describes him as an energetic monster of a boy, blonde red hair, popped blue eyes, and a dedicated troublemaker. In other words, the kid next door. Genius in his own way, he makes toy guillotines, full-sized racks, threatens to poison his sister, can turn himself into a Mr. Hyde with an ordinary chemical set. His voice is hoarse, and he's sometimes allowed the occasional cigar. There you go.
Alrighty.
For him.
I don't think I've ever seen
regular
the...
hooligan.
Yeah, regular hooligan, who apparently is also Dr. Jekyll.
I guess.
Are you an extraordinary gentleman?
Yes. Well, blonde
Mhm.
red hair. Not quite as ginger as in that film, but...
Now, are we talking movie or comics? Because those are two very different characters.
Yeah, I'm aware of Alan Moore's feelings about...
I've seen the film, and I enjoyed it.
The film is great fun. It's terrible. It's great fun.
I could also fully understand how the comic would be completely different.
And they go darker for the connected bands. Okay, these bands have gone too far because his head is not that wide.
Maybe they're just thick bands.
Don't go introduce.
Maybe one of them is really positioned correctly so you can barely see out of the goggles.
This guy's got a wide neck.
Yeah.
It's also a really long neck now that I look at it. Fuck!
It's okay.
If it helps, I never get necks right first try.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Oh, I don't want... The colour needs to be definitely a different colour.
Necks are one of those things where you don't really think about what the proportion is.
You just get them wrong.
You just look at, you just draw something and go, yeah, that makes sense. And then it's like, now wait a minute.
Hang on.
Now wait a minute.
You just get them
It's sort of
wrong.
like
Is
noses
exactly.
and eyes. Like there's just so much of the body that you just sort of go like, oh yeah, I know what the body looks like, and then you're like, wait a minute, your eyes are how far down your face?
If anyone asks, it's just Pugsley's really weak chin.
No, I think part of the Charles Addams description was that he could turn into a worm. I think that was part of it.
Yeah, that's his Mr. Hyde form.
Yeah. Dr. Pugsley and Mr. Worm.
Oh god, I hate this as I'm doing it, but I have to commit the teeth.
Commit to the teeth.
Commit to the teeth.
Nose, that's what I'm missing. Also ears.
No.
Jesus.
Worm.
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 It's this worm form.
Christy would like to borrow the glove. Can Christy borrow a glove?
Can Christy borrow a glove? Yeah, right after I deal with the bleach cleaning up whatever this monstrosity is. What do you do in here? You just do that.
You do a squiggle.
Oh no.
It's the Addams Family. It's allowed to be at least mildly horrifying.
Oh, Pugsy's just got just like the sort of tomato nose, doesn't he?
It is kind of interesting because, as you say, Pugsy doesn't really have many defining features. And what defining features he does have are basically hidden by goggles and hats here. So
Perfection. Oh god, I zoomed out.
never zoom out, only zoom in.
Right. Let's get some.
I mean, we already know what happens when you just draw zoomed in on a little piece and not look at the whole thing. You get something that's locally sensible and globally
Not to
absurd.
that point. Right, that's.
I'm glad you remembered the phrasing.
Let's clean up the loose threads on his jumper.
I like it being
Yeah.
loose. This sort of feels like engineer's short, stripy son.
Take
Right.
your child to work day.
Yeah. This is the Addams AU where Gomez is an engineer. brings Pugsley to work one day.
Just dresses him up like himself.
Yeah.
That is.
That
Or
one of
I don't
the
like
many
it.
Addams.
I don't like it.
That's art, baby.
That's hard, baby. You've done it.
Oh, let me go back to painting my giant robots.
Lewis, your next character is
This is punishment.
Optimus
Chris.
Prime.
This is punishment, Chris.
What?
There you go.
Fact.
Do your damn fact.
Charles Addams. No.
The engineer from TF2 was a lifelong fan of Pugsley Addams.
In 2013, a Chinese father hired virtual hitmen to kill his son's character in the computer game he played so he'd focus on getting a job.
I think I remember hearing about that one, actually.
Oh god. Sure, yeah.
What game is it that you could hire a hitman to kill the character?
I mean, there are some MMOs that have PvP.
Yeah.
And permadeath?
Well, even if it wasn't permadeath.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
I don't know about permadeath,
like,
but if someone was beating my ass raw in a video game every day, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna give up on this.
I mean, I think
I'll get it off the
there
screen.
are still there are some games in which, like, if you die, you lose all your progress, which is like essentially,
Yeah.
you know, the same.
Like an Iron Man mode.
Or at least you lose the progress that you're currently working on. Like, I know that's a thing in Sea of Thieves where you can pester other players and steal the loot that they just stole.
I'm mostly saying this because I remember like a Tumblr story, so I don't know how accurate it is or like if it's real because it's Tumblr. Of like an MMO where like one of the players was like, was playing Innkeeper, because why not? Just having fun with the
Oh
MMO, just
god.
doing that. And, like, high level people would come by and just, become friends and be like this year-long scheme, and then eventually he'd, like, poison all of them and have, like, all their gear and progress revoked by just killing them because they all trusted him at that point and were just, like, willing to, have fun. So yeah.
That's what you get for trusting people.
Something like that. It was a wild story.
That's the lesson you take away from this. Never trust anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any games where that is a thing you could do on a wide scale. I don't really play MMOs. I don't really have the time. In a lot of MMOs, I look at it and go, I don't want to deal with any of these people. The two I know the three I know the most about are Sea of Thieves, because I watch some people who play it and it's sort of amusing, but mostly I'm amused by them going around dancing with accordions.
Is that an MMO?
World of Warcraft via osmosis, just cultural osmosis.
Or I'll play it via PC.
And Final Fantasy 14, because I've got some good friends who play that one.
Oh, Jeep has posted.
Yeah, this is a hell of a story.
Yeah, read it after stream. It's a wild story.
He spends like
There you go.
years building in character reasons to kill everyone.
Yeah.
Nice. If you're going to put in that much effort, hats off to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
My turn.
Lewis
Ugh.
for Ragdoll.
Do you have a prompt for Ragdoll?
And
The
is it
website.
the Addams Family?
Sanctum.
seventhsanctum.com/generate.php ? Gen name equals class masher.
Do I just pull the one off the top?
Whichever one sounds good to you, and
Oh.
that Ragdoll might likely know.
Well, I'm not doing
Whichever one
Pugsley
you want.
Adams.
Which of us Ragdoll will probably know the most, so
Yeah.
a lot of RPG things.
Ooh, what have we got here?
And I will be playing more RPGs on stream because one semester is over, and two, there are now going to be more RPGs that I enjoy that I have legal access to on a laptop.
Hey.
Alright, it's gonna be Jafar from Aladdin as a
Ooh.
D&D barbarian.
Yeah, very barbarian-y.
Definitely.
Very strong
So
physique, Jafar.
Yeah, because when I think barbarian, Jafar is definitely a top of the list.
An alternative. I'll offer an alternative because I think this would be cool. Darth Vader as a Rune Knight from Ragnarok Online. Don't know what Ragnarok Online, but Darth Vader Rune Knight sounds cool.
Let's see. Jafar has a very distinctive face.
He does, rather.
Long.
And while I can sort of see it in my head, that doesn't mean I'll be able to translate it onto paper without seeing it outside of my head.
Jafar walks into a bar and the barman says, "Why the horse face?" No, that's not the joke. Bulk that Jafar
Janir,
up.
Jafar, Joe, wherever you are.
I was going to make a joke like that earlier and I decided not to. What was it? It wasn't Jafar, it was something else. Something else that ended in far. I was going to go, no, I won't do that. Should have done.
Let's see. He's got a very pointy everything.
So the end of
Like
Aladdin
even his
was
upper
weird,
lip.
wasn't it?
Even his upper lip is like pointy, which is odd.
What you were saying about the end of Aladdin?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Just in general.
That whole sequence is just from my childhood. I just remember that's weird.
The one where he asks to be a genie and then gets turned into a genie.
Yeah, and then all the stuff that happens there. The
I
giant
mean,
hourglass and things going down sand dunes and
Oh, right.
entire buildings.
Just before, okay.
Just
I
a
remember-
lot of things
Like-
happening there, and it's just.
in the live action, Iago gets turned absolutely massive
Oh.
and like destroys half the city.
Is it
Oh,
like
now I want to watch that.
is it just like a really mediocre CGI bird that's just massive, like the new fish in the Little Mermaid live action?
I mean, same company, so
I want it to be
it's
just
a big bird.
like old-fashioned sort of say like Power Rangers style. They just put a camera down low next to a parrot and a model city. Just let it walk
No.
around.
And then
That's
occasionally
not
it'll
it.
wobble
That
and
would
you
be
go,
great,
"Whoa!"
but that's not it.
I want that though.
Disney's just not done a very good job with any of their let's try and translate this to quote
No.
unquote live action, which mainly means we're making this
What?
CGI.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There's some
live action.
There's some the people are like, oh, you hate this because you just want to shit on Disney. I'm like, also, it looks terrible.
Yeah, it's like, because I've watched some little things for like the Little Mermaid, and it's just like, where did all the color go? Like,
So
Jesus
Never mind
Christ.
the color, where did the
Right?
lighting go?
Really?
Like even with Ariel, like some of the early stuff we saw, it's like, oh, she's got bright reddish orange hair, and then all of the previews, it's like, cool, it's all
Ariel.
brown.
It's really like it's so wild because it's just like there's no like color in it except for like some of the mermaid tails, and it just stands out so much in in the few trailers I've seen of just like because there's no other color. It also just generally doesn't really feel like they're that deep into the ocean.
Everything's permanently just a foot below the water.
It does look like it's just, just below the surface, essentially.
They're in like a blow-up paddling pool in the garden.
Which just feels kind of weird. It's it's also, I don't know. I just don't like movies that follow the trend of let's make things realistic. So let's just suck all the light and color out of this.
really
Also, all
highlights
of
what
the like, all the character,
Yeah.
like with the stuff with the Lion King, the CGI Lion King movie, is just kind of like, okay, cool. You've made a realistic lion, I guess, but this doesn't look like a character.
Does it just highlight what Disney execs think the world looks like?
Well, this is what people are kind of hoping with the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Is that if that's popular, then this will mark like, hey, things can be colorful again and fun. Can we do that, please?
I mean, it's one of the things that I really liked about the D&D movie is I can see.
Yes, people did mention that.
Right? Like that
It's a
actually has been a
fantasy
problem
movie,
in
and I can
movies in
see.
general. Live action CGI, like regardless, that's been an issue for a while. Like video games, after a certain point, most of them got over the everything has to be realistic and brown for the most part. But movies haven't figured out that audiences like to go to a movie to see a movie.
What do you What do you mean you want to see what's going on? What do you mean?
Like one person actually showed God, what was it? Freddy no, not Freddy Krueger. God, what's the name of the serial killer with the white mask and the brown hair?
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. There we go. With some
That's
scenes
Shrek,
from
isn't it?
the most recent movie with the Michael Myers, like that series, and comparing it to similar scenes from the previous ones, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
hey, back then they used like lighting to set tone and whatnot, and then in this one it's just flat.
Yeah, it was. I think there was like an original side by side of a camera shot that was in the new one and in the old one, and like the people who made the film posted it on Twitter with the caption like, how much has changed in 30 years or whatever it is, and somebody replied with, yes, the art of lighting in film has died. Like,
I mean, they're right though.
Yeah, because that scene is legitimately just like, now granted, you can make the argument of like, oh, it's a horror film, you're not supposed to see what's going on, but it's like, yes, it's a horror film, you're supposed to see just enough to
yeah,
scare you.
Mm-hmm.
there's supposed to be certain element of
Like, we
control
don't
to
want
it.
realistic lighting, we need lighting that sets the mood. It's a movie.
Yeah, I just like always when it comes to like lighting in movies, my brain goes to a Tumblr post about the Lord of the Rings movie where there's a quote from one of the creators
Yeah,
of just like where does like where does the lighting come from during like the Helm's Deep fight, and it's just same place as the music. And
yeah,
I love that so much. Like,
Mm.
yes, right attitude.
yeah. I think it was like, was it Elijah Wood who was like asking the director or
Yeah,
something where the light was coming from?
yeah,
Yeah,
something like
same
that.
same place as the music. It's a
He's like,
very
I'm
good
Peter Jackson. Who gives a fuck?
quote.
And then he did the Hobbit trilogy and almost died twice.
That's not good.
Neither were the films.
I was going to follow that up with something like, and yeah, that's not good. And he also almost died twice, or whatever.
Mm.
Um, anyway, Buff Jafar.
Anyway,
Yeah.
just while we're here.
Buff
just in
Jafar,
general.
gameplay reports are showing he's really been lacking in the DPS phase.
I mean, barbarian, you usually think buff.
Hmm. I mean, usually they are, yeah.
One good thing came from Ed Sheeran. Yeah, that is a pretty good song.
What? Is that Sheeran a Hobbit?
Ed Sheeran does
The,
the song for like the second film, doesn't he?
yeah, I see fire.
Afar. Nice.
I see Jafar.
I see
Afar.
Jafar,
I see
yes.
Jafar.
I see Jafar.
I see Joe wherever we're going too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did watch
Jafar
all
and
the
back again.
Hobbit movies, and generally I enjoyed them, but also it was way too much. It was like main complaint with those movies, like it shouldn't have been so long. It shouldn't have been 3 movies. Those movies shouldn't have been so long.
Mm.
My thing is, yeah, the 3 movie bit, it probably shouldn't have. It probably should have been 2. Um, but also their decision for where to cut between movie 1 and movie 2, not movie 1 and movie 2, movie 2 and movie 3, just leaves movie 3 feeling like filler nonsense,
Hey,
where it's like,
right
cool,
now,
your high point was at the start of the movie, and now everything is just downhill, and that's just not fun to watch.
yeah, right now,
I
tell me what the 5 armies were in the Battle of the 5 armies.
I mean, I don't even know that, and I've read the book, so that's
There
The
were
film
the
is called
men,
Battle of the 5 armies. There are humans, dwarves,
dwarves,
elves,
allies, and
orcs,
Axis.
and
uh
then that's it. They're just like, yep, 5 armies.
isn't isn't I might be very much misremembering this, but isn't one of the armies just the worms that show up? Like
I
the
thought that's how they
massive
get there in the worms. Do they count as an army?
I don't
Are they
know.
affiliated with any other army? If not, they're their own.
They're like, well, I just picked these guys up on my way home. There you go. You build
No, those are these men. I might have misremembered.
They are an army in the same way that the cab driver taking people back from the pub is part of the brawl that happened there. Like,
Yeah. The only redeeming factor of The Hobbit is I went to a workshop.
Oh,
and,
it's
wow,
the
that's
Eagles.
cool.
Sorry, it's the Eagles.
No, you
guys.
don't get to count the Eagles as an army.
The elves, the men, the dwarves, the goblins and wargs, and the eagles. So the goblins and wargs are together.
Oh, goblins are an army? Oh, that's stupid.
The eagles, sorry.
Just round them up into one army called the prosthetic army.
prosthetic army.
We have
Also,
one
I mean,
side that
I'm
didn't
getting
spend 10
mixed
hours in
messages
makeup.
because that was the first thing that showed up, and the second thing that showed up was the 5 armies referred to the goblins, wolves, elves, men, and dwarves. So the wolves
Wolves?
You have a wolf army, huh?
You know, I suddenly
Wolves?
don't feel so bad about my answer of worms anymore.
I cannot in my head. It's canonically worms now.
Don't worry.
The wolves and the eagles are just watching from the side.
They're placing bets.
I should specify at this point. I know nothing about the Hobbit.
Plamps and I went to the workshop that makes all the props and stuff. And that was pretty cool. There's a troll in the chat.
Sorry.
Not a troll in Chris's chat. There's literally a picture of a mountain troll in the Discord chat.
Right.
I just want to share this because I went to the Battle of Five Armors wiki page of the Lord of the Rings fandom wiki. And it just has like this little like on the side of, like what was the conflict, the date, the place, and there's like a thing that says outcome, and it just says defeat of the orcs, bats, and wargs. Where are the
Now the bats.
Wait, there were bats
Were they
in the
with the
film,
wolves?
wasn't there? For like 30 seconds. Orlando Bloom are like, oh, these are bats, but they're only war bats. They only come out when there's war or something. They're like, oh, these are
they
war
fundamentally
bats.
they fundamentally misunderstood what was meant by getting like bats to attack the enemy with. It's like no, we meant weapons.
Yeah, that statue of the white orc is like
good.
2 meters tall.
Bloody hell. Gives you a sense of scale.
Also, that
the
white
only
orc looks terrible in the film.
the only thing I know about pacing, because I've not read any of the books and I've watched bits of the 3 Lord of the Rings films.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I know about pacing is that my brother is currently listening to the audiobook of the first Lord of the Rings Fellowship, that's the one. He's listening to the audiobook of it, and he's sort of listening to it in bits. And the time before last that we met up, he said, oh, there's so many things they cut out from the beginning of that book. There's just so many sort of world-building things about the Shire and people around the Shire, and I don't know why they cut it out. The next time I met up with him, he's like, I am so glad they cut out bloody... what's his name?
Tom
Bombadil. Tom
Yeah.
Bombadil. He's like, I'm so glad they cut him out.
I thought that's where you were going, yeah. I remember, because I've not read the Lord of the Rings books a lot. I have read through them. The Tom Bombadil part in the beginning is stupidly long. For no
And
particular reason.
there's a lot of singing additionally, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go watch the films.
Like, it's a lot of, like, build-up, introduction, like, world building around this one character that never shows up again.
And also might be God.
Might be
Who
God.
knows?
I mean, Gandalf is also a deity type thing. That's not really special here. There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're
I don't
around.
know, someone text Stephen Colbert on Twitter. He'll answer your questions.
Also, at some point
Colbert, how you say his name.
we came up with the idea because I think there was like a lot of stuff about a farmer. What's his name?
I
To-
don't know the farmer's
Tom
name, but I
Farmbadil.
think
Farm.
I know.
Farmer Maggot's in my head. I don't know if whether that's correct.
That sounds at least vaguely in the right direction.
Right. Okay.
So,
Apparently, there was a bunch of stuff cut from them, and my brother said something along the lines: you could probably have made another entire film with those two characters. And
mhm.
now all I can imagine is like this curmudgeonly farmer and this stoner hippie woodsman in this sort of like
God,
odd couple sort of film where it's all a
But
message
yeah,
of trying to, teach Farmer Maggot to, lighten up and
yeah, because I mean, he's probably gonna have more of those reactions because I I've read through the books. They're long. It's Tolkien is known as a world builder. It
yeah,
shows. It shows very much. Like
the world builder who was forced to add
He spends
narrative.
a lot of time expositioning about trees. And I
yeah,
don't even mean the ones that get up and move around and have names.
no. But even like, cause in the movie, the part in Fangorn in Forest where the Ents are from is like it's not that long. It like the whole thing with Merry Pippin and like Treebeard and like them coming up with the idea to go to like um Isengard and stuff like that. That goes pretty quickly. And in the book it's just like it's several days of just them doing stuff.
I'm pretty sure what happened is they came up with it, and then somebody mentioned that they're taking the hobbits to Isengard, and that's about it,
Mhm.
right? I know that from the films.
Yeah. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
To Isengard.
God, God,
Um
God, God.
Yeah, I'm just so
Old
back
internet.
before she decided to become very publicly a bigot, uh my scout troop went over to the UK, and there is actually a place where you can see a lot of the things that they used when making the Harry Potter films.
mhm.
Mm.
Um, and got to look at some stuff and got to see some stuff. And I was reading over a thing in there, and I think it was the director for the Goblet of Fire film. Um, Someone basically it was a different dude from the previous three, so new guy, and basically some of the people
Mhm.
who had worked on the previous movies went up and it's like, hey, we could probably split this into two films, and the director guy was like, no, you can't. You have the content maybe for two films, but you've only got one movie's worth of story here. Like,
Mm.
there's only one movie's worth of story. You split this into two films, and it's not going to be two stories.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
sort of the same feeling with some of the Lord of the Rings movies, where it's like, yeah, I guess if you showed every single little thing here, you could have multiple movies worth of content, but you don't have multiple movies worth of plot.
No. That yeah. That's definitely true. Like, I'm very glad that the Lord of the Rings movies are as it is because I think they're a really good set of movies. Um, but I'm very glad they came before like the entire like trend of like movie 7 part 1,
Yeah.
movie 3 part 1
Listen, let's not
out of
bring the
3.
Fast and Furious into this, okay?
Or if it could
It's
have been like, a Netflix show that went into like 7 seasons, and
Well, they tried
y-
with Amazon.
season 2 is
yeah,
all
and
about Tom
everyone
Bombadil.
hated it.
And everyone went, wow.
Everyone, this sucks from like every point of view. Um, yeah.
What I'm taking from all of this is we need to do a meetup and watch Lord of the Rings just with some pizza.
Yes, we do.
Because
Was the pizza never seen it either?
my brain keeps rubber banding back to the part where Chris said, I've never seen Lord of the Rings fully through. And I went,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot of bits. I've got the gist of it. I don't know what order everything happens in, but I've got the gist.
We're gonna watch it together.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch you carefully to see if you enjoy it or not.
Well, I'm not going to enjoy it if that's
one-
the case.
One day in university, it was sort of after exams, this is in second year maybe, a bunch of me and my friends sat down and we could only do two of them because we were like physically, not exhausted, because all we would do, we watched the last two Lord of the Rings movies, the extended edition, just in one day.
Oh god.
Oh.
And I still argue that to watch Return of the King, you enjoy it a lot more if you just fast forward every part that has Sam and Frodo in it.
They're the best bit, right?
Oh, it gets frustrating towards the end, but like I was like, what if I just watch Return of the King and skip every part with Frodo?
Also, Christy, you're right. The Goblet of Fire is disappointing. I think it's generally like considered to be the most disappointing Harry Potter movie.
Well, there's the
Well, that's
Sad.
also sort of the part now. That's also sort of the place where the books started to unravel a bit, because I don't remember exactly where it was, but somewhere around Goblet of Fire or Prisoner of Azkaban, she just started refusing to have anyone edit her books.
They got a lot longer, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot longer, a lot less concise. Plot is now going all over the place. There are plot elements that have just been lost to the winds. And that's, like I said, she sort of stopped letting people edit her books, and it's like, yeah, and it shows.
Yeah, I think that's where I stopped reading, was Goblet of Fire.
I enjoyed Goblet of Fire. I don't think it's the best, but I like it a lot for what it is. I think from book 5 onwards, book 5 is so long with just nothing happening.
It's
So,
also just miserable as shit.
yeah, it's just a whole bunch of like teenagers being angry and depressed, and it's just like, after a while, it's just like, God, can we have something happen, please?
I'm like, someone just died, and I was like, oh, okay. Take it back.
I want to know, just during this conversation that we've been having, whether anybody has entered into this stream, seen Jafartids.
Let's
with
go.
us talking about Harry Potter, and then just gone, well, this is a stream. Goodbye.
And then they went, follow.
Yeah, follow. Subscribe.
I mean,
Donate.
that is a valid response to seeing whatever the heck this is I just drew.
Yeah, it's just like, even if you're just recommended this on Twitch, this is the thumbnail.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's a very
How
good
could it
Jafar,
be
to be fair.
anything else? Yeah,
All the whimsy's gone. No whimsy.
Yeah, the legs aren't as musculature as I would like, but then I started drawing them and I realized it's like, I don't know how to draw muscly legs. What do muscly legs even look like? Most of the time when I'm seeing a muscly person, they're wearing pants.
I mean, I'd hope so, yeah. Generally, muscles are lumps. They're a lump. Big lump.
Lump. So you're either going to end up making something like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Moreau. Depending on how you draw it. Did I get the name right?
Yes.
Yes.
You did. I'm very proud of you.
Yay.
I mean, to be fair, Moreau is more eyes.
It
Eye
looks
lumps.
lumpy. I didn't know that.
No,
Okay, so he's an
know.
Apple fanboy and he's got eye lumps. Whatever.
It's we're going for like muscle lumps, not for tryptophobia eye lumps.
Okay, fair enough.
I know the
Traptophobia?
difference is slim. So
Like traps, that's a muscle, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
Mussels are spoiled milk. Oh, that's
Oh no.
Christy, this evening you have been on a roll of very short sentences that nobody has ever said before, and I applaud you.
sentences that cause psychic damage.
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, we've got a little bit of time left. Do we want to just do one all together, or do 4 small ones together? Or do we want to talk about
Or
Jafar's tids for 10 minutes? Thanks.
I mean, I have a feeling we're going to take another 10 minutes, but that's how Sunday streams usually are.
Just doing your job. We appreciate it. I actually saluted in real life, just so you know. I know you can't see that, but
It's good to imagine.
good to imagine. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, do we want to do a quick one?
Yeah, let's do a quick one.
I'll cheer you
quick.
on.
Okay. Do it in 3s then. Neapolitan style.
Lewis can give us the prompts.
Yeah.
Where is my tab cleanliness just ruined today? There we go. What do we got here?
Problem with this way is if I zoom out, I can actually see the other column. It's fine.
Just don't zoom.
Okay, this is the stream now. I hope you enjoy.
We have Dr. Robotnik as a wizard from Diablo. There's another Addams Family. Gomez Addams as a priest from Dungeon Fighter Online. Don't know what that is, but yeah. And we have Superman as a Death Knight from World of Warcraft.
Okay.
For those who do not play World
No,
of
I
Warcraft.
guess it's now a question of who gets what.
Oh, I forgot to mention one of the ones I got just now was Spider-Man as Masked Hero. Just thought I'd mention that from Disgaea. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ragdoll's the only one who hasn't drawn an Addams Family yet.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
So I guess I get the Addams Family one. What was the
Yeah.
Addams Family one, real quick?
Gomez Addams as a priest from Dungeon Fighter Online, whatever that is.
So,
I've
Chris, do
immediately
you
forgotten the other
Dr.
two.
Robotnik, or do you want
Dr. Robotnik as God, what did I say? Where's the tab gone?
I mean, I could just draw him as a priest.
As a tab thief.
I've lost the Superman is a Death Knight from World of Warcraft. If you want Death Knight inspiration, search the Lich King. Dr. Robotnik as did this refresh? As the heavy from Team Fortress 2.
Okay. Chib, it's up to you.
I don't know. I'll do Robotnik.
Robotnik
You
is
can
heavy.
draw muscles. I know you love that so much.
Well, from the looks of it, I get to draw armor. So
I know you love that combination.
hang on. Done. There we go.
Right. This is one I do actually need reference for because I don't know. No, I have a fake idea, but I don't know.
How do
Okay, so they look sort of like paladin type things.
Spooky paladins.
But I might just make him just like a priest. Where did my pen go?
Oh, he's a
I
priest.
put it down for 2 seconds to do a Google, and it decided to float up. There it is.
I'm trying to work out how to make this into Superman because it's just going to look like a suit of armor, like
Give him undies and a little
undies. Okay,
Superman
yeah.
curl.
So we need like a kind of super. Does that fit with the spikes on the helmet?
Mm. Also, question for people who know more than I do. What's the difference between Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Eggman? Are they
which
Um,
the same?
which game
Nothing.
they're in?
They're
Okay.
technically the same character. It's just different translations give different names.
Okay.
Isn't
I
it like
think the closest explanation there we have had that sort of sensibly explains why both names are used is his name is Robotnik, but Sonic called him Eggman
Oh,
to
yeah,
insult him.
he just kind of like makes fun of him and calls him Eggman.
right. That makes sense.
But yeah,
What?
as far as I'm aware, Doisian explanation is different games got translated differently.
Also, is is he wearing like sunglasses and also has goggles on his head? I've never noticed that before. I just thought his eyes were like orbs.
Orb.
I thought his eyes were orbs, but it looks like it's glasses actually.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always thought he just had round blue eyes.
Yeah, same. I thought it was just orbs.
How strange.
Oh, wonderful. This is already going just perfectly.
You know, I've started making this shape to make Gomez a little priest, but I'm looking at this going, oh no, I've drawn a penguin.
Excellent.
Well, now we know what penguins truly are. Addams Family priests.
Oh, this is funny.
What was the thing I'm doing? Because I just looked up Death Knight.
Superman is a Death Knight from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I looked up Lich King and I forgot what the actual problem was.
I think he's the only like named Death Knight.
Right.
So I'm going more for like comics version Gomez here, who's just sort of a small gremlin of a man.
Mm.
I'm like trying to figure out how to mesh these two up without just doing the same. Because they're both kind of top heavy.
I think the heavy is everything heavy.
I mean, it is in the name.
Mm.
Anything fun I should know about Death Knights?
They're
Skulls,
dead.
spikes.
I mean, it's World of Warcraft, giant pauldrons.
Yeah, I got that. The necessity. By the way, because a third of the screen is just blank, in order to avoid spoilers, I put Kiki there.
Kiki.
Just so you know.
Wardish head.
Does Kiki's nose look like a Superman logo? Kinda?
Oh, there's this shape. Yeah, there's the shape of it. It also looks like the Kiki's just stuck their nose in a Nutella jar.
Do you know what? I'm doing a picture of Kiki for a thing, which I can't show because spoilers. But it's only when I was doing that picture that I realized that her nose was Nutella'd. Just never noticed it before. Okay, let's actually.
What if I hit? Let's hit refresh and see what else is coming up here. Data from the next generation is a demon hunter. Okay.
Mm.
I
The new
need to
series
make
of
this
Picard.
smaller. I have no room for the arms.
I am not used to drawing at this resolution.
Leia Organa as a necromancer. Oh dear.
Have you heard the tale of Darth Pelagius the Wise? Yeah, my stylus definitely needs recalibrating. This is not accurate to where I'm actually drawing.
That didn't look right. These eyes just aren't working. Just think I need to make my pen thinner.
Dipper pines from Gravity Falls as a witch doctor from Diablo. Okay.
I've lost sense of what I'm drawing.
Oh, by the way,
Dr.
Chiba.
Eggman Heavy.
Heavy egg.
Heavy egg. Okay.
I don't really want to zoom.
Also, what were you gonna say, Chris?
Oh yeah. When I asked you whether you wanted me to continue the theme, it was a choice between the Morticia Addams prompt or Waldorf from the Muppets as a Final Fantasy dancer. So you could have drawn that.
Oh, I'm so sad now. It would have been great.
Gonna go watch Meet the Heavy now.
Heavy meat? No, heavy egg.
You know what? His eyes are just going to be lopsided. That's just going to be a thing that happens.
That sounds about right for Gomez Addams.
Yeah. Have you seen pictures of the original Gomez Addams? His eyes are not pointing in the same direction. I tried to do a thing with this helmet and it roundly failed.
I feel like for the Team Fortress, like for some of these, you end up like with more of like a, you know, a like character in an outfit, and with some of these, you end up more with a real like merge of these, like a real merge of characters. Because I'm merging these people, but you know, the prompt is for like dressed as kind of, you know.
But also, in the
Yeah.
end, it just looks like a hat that they would sell on Steam.
Oh, I hate drawing without zooming. I'm so bad.
Which room do I have to work with? Oh, that's lots of room. Yes. This is stupid, but I'm doing it anyway.
Good. Love stoop.
What do you mean, but? Do you know whose stream you're on? We only do things if they're stupid. Okay, note to self, if you're going to try and... if you're going to want to do this again, practice drawing at very small resolutions.
The next drawing session, everyone's going to be max zoom in. We're going to be doing 8-bit art, everyone.
Yeah, pixel art next time.
No, go fuck yourself.
That's against terms of service, though.
Have you considered the alternative? What's that? Fuck you! No, breathe, Chief, breathe.
Breathe. We recommend it.
It's underrated.
Yeah, everyone on the internet, they're always talking about, hydrate and stretch and straighten up, check your posture, all that sort of stuff. No one ever says breathe.
As an asthmatic, I need to be reminded.
What am I doing?
Let's see.
This is terrible. I lose all sense of structure for trying to draw like this.
You have structure in your drawing?
No, I have no sense of structure is what I'm saying.
You try to have structure in your drawing?
I mean, this is Chris. I'm sure if we let him, he would do like 15 sketch layers.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing I know from the Lord of the Rings films. What about fifth sketch? That's what he says, right?
Yep.
And I think the joke works better if I just leave the rest of the costume just simple.
I mean, I'm a fan.
Now the question is Lewis zoomed all the way out and seeing all of the nonsense?
I see everything.
I see everything.
I'm so sorry. Why are you seeing everything? Why would you do this to yourself?
I'm not. I apologize for nothing.
I apologize for everything, including things I didn't do.
It's the classic, I have two modes. I have, God, I'm awful, I hate everything, I'm so sorry, or fuck you, I'm amazing. Everyone bow down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people tell me that second one exists.
Wait till you watch Lord of the Rings, you'll feel like it.
No, I'll just be like, oh, I could never make something like this. Look at those designs.
When you hear King Theoden's speeches, you will be rallied.
Okay.
I
think that works for
done.
Priest Gomez. It is definitely not set up to look like the priest from this particular game, because I did look that up. But I think this is funnier.
It is.
I just want to be done. Chris, be done.
Okay, well, Chris, be done. Chris, be quick. That'll fine. I won't do any shading. We're done. Kiki, you'll have to leave us temporarily.
Get out of here!
Okay. Reveal time. Oh, I love them.
I love the little Gomez. He's perfect.
They are both great. The little Gomez is amazing.
Little
I
Gomez is
figured I would
fucking
take
best.
advantage of the fact that we are using tall portions instead of
Yes.
rectangular portions, and the
Yes.
fact that Gomez in the original comics, and I think also the cartoon movie, is
He-
rather short.
Yep.
Yes. It is
Oh,
excellent.
Ragdoll, this is perfect.
Ragdoll, you have blessed us. You have blessed us with Priest Gomez.
Uh,
This is a good day.
yes, this is a good day.
Can you see what I mean when I said it's like, oh, I started drawing, then it's like, oh no, this is just a penguin.
Yes,
No,
body is
he's,
just
also I
penguin.
love him.
he's perfect, and I will hear nothing against him.
Can this be our deity? Yes. It does look like a little figurine that you just have in your
3D print this, somebody, and just like pass them out, like hide them in people's pockets as
It's
you
like
walk past.
it's the same sort of vibes as like the really religious grandma who has a picture of Ewan McGregor in Star Wars Attack of the Clones at her religious shrine.
Yeah.
You did include the Superman curl. That's
Yeah.
cute.
I tried anyway.
It works.
Basically,
I just
it's
realized I probably should have made the necklace the cross of Saint Peter. Whatever.
also I've just realized I didn't give them hands. So
Whoopsie.
what you gonna do, eh?
I love that you were just like, oh, I just won't shade it. Like you were gonna shade it without the abs.
Apparently, yeah.
Like,
Supposedly.
I mean, the fun thing is I can see where the hands would be in the sketch. You just never got to that part.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I
You
planned
just
for
went
them.
through this entire drawing and just never did them.
I mean, I
Oh.
will sometimes go through an entire drawing and just never draw hands, but that's because I don't want to draw the hands.
Yeah.
I'm doing that on purpose.
This character has ghost hands.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I can't just look like he's got his hands behind his back going, yes.
Yes.
I am Eggy Weapons Guy.
Yeah, it's like that. There's a Peanuts comic where Lewis, one of the kids, is drawing a picture, and
I was like, what did I do now?
You're drawing a picture.
another character comes up. It's like, oh, I see you've drawn the character with hands behind their back. That means you're very nervous and afraid about things. And then Lewis is just kind of like, it's because I don't want to draw hands.
Yeah.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go.
There we go. Look at
What's in that sandwich?
eggs.
Yeah, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Boo.
This is just like a whole fried egg, or
Yeah.
okay. Good to know.
Breakfast sandwich.
Oh, please don't
Sandwich
tempt me.
with a fried egg is delicious. So,
Sandwich.
and
I'll take your word. The issue
one
that
of
we
the
have
few
here.
things I know about having a sandwich. So, and we're talking about eggs, so it just made sense. Liquid eggs. Don't worry about it.
It wasn't
Liquid.
it wasn't an in-game item originally, and then they did the meat the heavy, and people were like, put it in.
Maybe I don't know.
The problem we have here is that when we turn all the layers on, the one who's gonna suffer here is Gomez
Yeah, sorry, Chief.
being in the center.
Well, at least he will be with his family.
Let me
Oh,
just turn the
getting
opacity.
shot by Wednesday.
Just gonna turn the opacity down on mine so it's not.
Yeah, I saw there was a white background. He's very happy to be in Jafar right now.
That, or he is staring up at the arm of his lovely wife, while his 2 children are just. Actually, let's just have on all of the layers with the Gomez family, because that looks like it's just a scene. But let's just have the Addams family here for a moment.
He.
Wow.
I mean, I think that sums up the Addams family pretty well.
Da 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 da. Perfect representation.
I also love that true Addams family fashion, Morticia is like twice the size of Gomez.
Yep.
That is their dynamic.
Like even
I am,
with
however,
the
impressed
incredibly tall, is not even the same.
Chris, Cheeb, and myself all managed to get their feet on more or less the same plane.
Whoops.
That's fine. Pugsley 2 is I'm you from the future. You know.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing you didn't. I'm saying I'm impressed that 3 of us managed to get the feet at the same place, despite the fact that none of us were looking at the other's drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's turn all the layers back on.
Well, there we go. That was a time that we all experienced, whether we wanted to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly,
It's
I
one-
wanted to. So.
That's one of the drawings of all time.
It is.
There's multiple of the drawings of all time.
Yes.
And with that,
the
stream ends. According to this, more Portal 2's happening. I don't think that's true.
I don't think so either.
Pretty sure we finished it. There were no more levels. We're done.
Mm-hmm. No more bonus levels or anything like that.
No. It's really weird. They probably should have added a bit more content. But what are you gonna do?
It happens.
Yeah. So
I also don't think we have another game lined up that we can do in Dutch. So it's up to you, Chris.
One day we will find something. If anyone has any suggestions for 2-player co-op puzzle games
that we can do in Dutch.
that we can do in Dutch. But until then, we'll probably do Hitman instead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, some Hitman on Tuesday as well as a morning doodle stream. Carry on with the nightmare. Do the egg. We're gonna do the egg.
I carry on with the nightmare. Like that's just it.
Yeah.
What a nightmare. Let's carry on with it.
Yeah. I mean, strictly speaking, I'm gonna carry on with that on Monday, but that's just a metaphysical thing. Yeah. So that's gonna happen. Thank you very much for doodling, and thank you very much for chit chatting. This is Christine Kira. Hope you had a lovely time. And yes, you're quite correct. Gomez will shite through it all. Thank you, Christy.
And other things Christy has said this stream.
We're adding that to the quotes as well.
I'm on it.
Christy's just been on a roll today. It's brilliant. Let it shite, let it shite, let it shite. Yeah, lovely time. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Look after yourselves. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.